Hey, what's up guys, it's Theo from Fino Concept. So today we are going to create a lower third in Adobe After Effects. In case you don't know what a lower third is, they are those little information you see at the bottom or the side of a video. Most of them are usually in the intro of a video, like what you have been seeing on my channel all the time. So today we are going to create this in Adobe After Effects. So let's just get started.
Welcome to Fino Concept. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos.
So let's go ahead to open up our application. For this tutorial, I'm using Adobe After Effects 2018, and I'll just click on create new composition. In case your work is not looking like this, you can always just create a new project by just going to file, new, and click on new project, and this is going to pop up. So I'll click on new composition and I'm going to set my width to 500 and my height to 100 pixels. The duration is just 5 seconds and the background is set to white, and I'll click on OK. Now the first thing I'm going to do is create a rectangle. So I'll grab the rectangle tool by just clicking on it right over here. The short key is Q, by the way. So let's zoom out a little bit. I'm using the scroll wheel on my mouse to be zooming in and out. So I'll start over somewhere around here. Now make sure that your fill is set to a specific color you want. In my case, I'm using 5478 FD and click on OK. And I'm also having a white stroke around it, which is of 5 pixels. So I'll click somewhere around here just at the corner. Whilst holding down shift, I will click and drag this over here like so. Now you can see that currently we have the anchor point over here. Now what this means is if I try to move or rotate it in any way, it's just going to be moving using that anchor point as a reference. I don't want this, I want this to be centered. So what I'll do is I'll go to the anchor point tool, that's why on your keyboard, hold down the control key and double click it. This is going to bring the anchor point to the center. So now if I rotate it, you can see that the anchor point is right at the center neatly. So let's move about 10 frames into our animation, and I'm going to create a keyframe for the rotation. Right click on that keyframe, go to keyframe assistance and click on easy ease. The short key is F9, so I'll be using F9 for the rest of this tutorial. And I'll move over to the beginning and I'll set this keyframe, so I'll set the keyframe to 90 degrees like so, and I'll move over to the beginning and set it back to 0. So you can see this is how it looks like. So I'll move somewhere around 20 frames. I'll press S on my keyboard to bring up the scale. I'll create a keyframe for that, hit F9 on my keyboard to easy ease them, and I'll move my playhead to the beginning and I'll change the scale to 0. So this is what I have. It's going to be bigger, and whilst it is becoming bigger, is also going to be rotating. So press U on your keyboard to bring up all the keyframes, and I'll place this somewhere around the center. I want the rotation to end just a little bit sooner before the scale does, so I have something like this, and this is looking quite nice to me already. So what I'll do is just at the 20 frames, I'm just going to duplicate this shape layer 1. So to do that, just hold down Ctrl and press D. That's going to duplicate, and I'll click and drag. Sorry, I should be using my move tool instead. I'll click and drag this over here whilst holding down shift. That's going to snap in like so. So again, I'll move about 20 frames, Ctrl D to duplicate one more time, click and drag this over here like this. So if I go ahead and play this or preview this, this is what I have. Quite nice. Now the animation is not so fast for me, so I'm going to select everything and go to the the graph editor. Now in case you are seeing this, you know what, I should probably do it one after the other. So I'll press U on my keyboard to highlight my keyframes. I'll select these two, which is for the scale. Click on this graph editor. Now I'm going to crank this up to something like this, so that it starts very slow, then it moves very fast. So it's going to be like this for the scale, and I'll go back to my main work. So for the rotation, I think it will be better off it if it also moves in that way. So let's preview and see how this is like. Okay, I think this is much better. So again, I'll just move over to 20 frames, Control D, duplicate. I'll bring this somewhere around here. 10 frames, or sorry, 20 frames again, duplicate, bring this around here, and I think this is looking awesome. Alright, so right over at the 2-second, I'm actually going to bring in the text, which is the F for Facebook. So I'll just type it in here. I don't have a specific text or font I'm going to use, but I think this is looking pretty solid to what we have for Facebook, so I'm just going to be using that. And the font I'm using is Unisans Heavy, the heavy version, and I'll just play around the size. So I think something like this should be okay. Again, if you want to place the anchor point, you can see if I bring up my move tool, the anchor point is somewhere around here. So I'll just control double click on my anchor point tool to place it at the center, and I think somewhere around here should be just fine. Now I'm just going to hold down with the layer selected, of course. I'm just going to hold down the Alt key and click on the left bracket key to just cut it out over at this area, so it's only going to show over here. Now again, I'll move about 20 frames. I want to keep this consistent. I'll press P on my keyboard, P to bring up the position. I'll create a position keyframe, F9 to easy ease, and I'll bring the playhead to the beginning. Then I'm going ahead to drag the y-axis to the bottom like so. So over here is just vanishing, then it will come in like this right after the animation. I think this is looking quite awesome. Now again, if I go to the graph editor, I can just play along this line and increase the speed over at the end like so, and I think that is looking quite nice. Now once I'm done with this, I'm also going to create 2 more rectangles. So for the first one, I'm going to click and drag. You know what, I'm actually going to set the stroke to 0. I don't want any stroke to be around that, and I'm going to change the fill color to, I don't know, a darker color like 20. And I'm going to create a rectangle like this. I don't have a specific size, so I'm just going with my guts over here. So I think something like this should be okay. Again, I have the anchor points over here. I don't like that, so control double click to place it at the center like so. Again, I'm also going to select this particular layer, hold down the Alt key and press the left bracket key to cut it out over at that side. We are also going to be adding a position keyframe for this. So again, I'll move 20 frames and I'll press P on my keyboard, create a position keyframe, F9 to easy ease it, bring the playhead to the beginning, and I'm going to play with the x-axis this time around. So I'm going to click and drag this over somewhere like this. Okay, so because we have this layer on top of all the other layers, it is actually overlapping just like Photoshop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this shape layer 4. You know what, let's hit enter and let's rename this to rectangle. Okay, now I'm just going to leave all of these the way they are, and I'll place this at the bottom of everything, so it is just going to be animating in like this. I think this is looking pretty cool. And once this animation is done, I want a text to come in, so I'll grab the type tool and I'll type in Fino Concepts. I'm going to change the font to a regular font and reduce the size to about, I think 18 is too small, so right around I think this should be okay, 48. You know what, let's make it 45, and I'll hit enter on my keyboard. Okay, so again, with that layer selected, holding down the Alt key, I'm just going to cut that part I don't need out using the left bracket key, and I'll position the anchor point at the center like that. So for this, I'm just going to move about 10 frames, and I'm just going to introduce a change in opacity. So press T on your keyboard to bring opacity up. I'll set it to 100%, F9 to easy ease. I'll come back to the beginning of my frame and set it to 0. So if I play the animation, you can see it just fades in like this, comes in, and it just fades in like this. I'm basically going to duplicate this, so Control D, sorry, I almost said Control J. I thought we were using Photoshop. And I'll place the second one somewhere around here. Now for the second text, I'll press P on my keyboard and I'll change the position. I actually want to change the vertical position, so somewhere around here should be just fine. And I'm also going to change the text color, so I'll grab my type tool, highlight everything, and I'll set the color to, I don't know, let's sample this blue color from here. I think that looks awesome. And I'm actually going to change the text also, so let's be friends. I think I have to adjust the position a little bit. Something like this should be just fine. And reduce the size, probably 36. I think 36 is okay. And I'll place a text somewhere around here. So this will fade in like this, and this will fade in like that. So basically that is it. You know what? Let's run preview this and see how this is looking like, you know. Okay, so apparently it seems the animation is a little bit too slow. So what I'm going to do is right at the center, or probably 10 frames, I'm just going to click and drag this somewhere around here. 20 frames, I'll do the same, click and drag, so that the animation seems a little bit faster than it actually is. So you know what, let's select all the layers and I'm going to isolate these ones from it. So let me see, coming in. Okay, so the animation for the rectangle should start somewhere around here. Now let me play this and see. Alright, I think this is looking awesome. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just extend these so that they cover up the entire duration of our play. And basically that's how to create this. Alright, so if you are interested in getting this exact template, I'll leave it linked in the description below, so be sure to check it out. Anyway, I think that's all. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch more of my videos, hit that subscribe button, and as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theo from Final Concept, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.